All right. So just finished version 3. I'm in the middle of testing and things are working well. Let's just go over the changes briefly. We now, on a universal basis, track analogy and metaphor usage, examples and scenarios. Those are the most problematic items when it comes to AI writing, reusing the same examples, the same metaphors over and over. You'll often get reviews like, he's in love with this particular analogy or something of that nature. It's because of the nature of AI writing. So we fixed for that. So we're going to have these mandatory inclusions. You can always customize this, but those are mandatory inclusions for nonfiction books. And we're now adding more implicit self-learning. So it's going to ask itself more explicitly what are the lessons it should be learning as it's going from chapter to chapter. So as you interact with it, self-learning feature is now improved. The notes and consistency in the boot prompt have explicit sections now, so those are a lot more useful to the future writing sessions. The QA self-check questions before the update. And then the main thing that I did was I personally moved my QA into ChatGPT. So I booted up a new prompt. You can certainly continue to use Claude, but I improved the QA and moved it over to ChatGPT. And then we'll use a lot less tokens. There is an additional setup prompt that's in. If you go to the project settings, you'll see this ChatGPT specific QA. That's just a hard-coded prompt. You can just upload it exactly as is. And this is the amended QA prompt from the latest V3 system for this specific project. Let's get into an actual QA session. So what I did for the last video is I reran the chapters through, and guess what? We found some stuff. Actually found some stuff, which is pretty cool. So we need minor revisions, and the reason we need those revisions is we have two undefined terms. These terms, politesse, were not defined before they were used, which is one of our rules. So we fixed that. And then we're getting the shipping decision at the end, not the beginning, so that the AI does not pass fast and then basically become a self-fulfilling prophecy. It now fails or passes at the end after it's run all. I'll put all of the check information. So if you go back to the Claude project and you go into Artifact 1, you'll see this is from the original one. I pasted in the ChatGPT, the full output here, and it made the revision. Now I'll say approve, make boot prompts, and then it will make the boot prompt. So that is the normal workflow that you would be experiencing. You would get a rough draft, pass it to QA, pass your edits and get the edits, get them approved back in QA, and then produce the boot prompt. If you look at the output of ChatGPT here, go down to the bottom, when it's approved, it adds the categories to its context, and then those will increase in size. So let's go to the bottom. And we just increased added a few things here on the approval log. So it's building upon that as it continues. And yeah, that's it for version 3. The other thing that I messed up in my first video was that the writer needs the production outline. I guess I didn't commentate when I actually added that in there. And then the automatic editing just cut it out because I wasn't speaking. So I just want to make sure very clear that the writer needs your book outline. Makes sense, right? So if you're adding the book outline, instead of copying and pasting it into the main chat to start your book in Artifact 1, what you could do instead is add it to the project files and say, this is the first artifact, please refer to the production outline. And then start your conversation like that instead, and then it will read in the prompt, and it will read your outline and begin with chapter 1. And then each subsequent chapter will use the big prompt, which will refer to the outline because that outline is critical to writing. And that is the whole video. Hope you got something out of that. Talk to you soon.